What it is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. So yesterday, while no one was looking because everyone is in quarantine and probably digging into their backlogs, catching up on the TV shows and everything, Nintendo drops a Nintendo Direct. Not a full one, but a mini. And it was just enough to pretty much quench our thirst for what we've been hankering for. We recently had the Indie Direct, but now we got a Nintendo Direct Mini. And so this was exciting. I feel like it was a pretty solid Direct, but I got my notes here. My table is filled with notes. Let's get into it. So they opened the show with Xenoblade Chronicles. They officially showed us more how it looks, the gameplay, and then there's even an epilogue DLC attached to it to give us more story so we can have an experience with Shulk. Now, I'm not very excited about the game because I played it and it just wasn't for me, but I am happy to see that this game is officially coming out on May 29th. A lot of people loved Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and even there's maybe, I guess you can say, a cult following for Xenoblade Chronicles X. Xenoblade Chronicles X looked like it's maybe more my speed because of the combat engine is my speed. I like actual combat. The one for both Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, respectively, just wasn't really my cup of tea. I can't really get with it. I even went over to a friend's house, watched him play, and he said, look, this is me attacking, and I don't like the way it's happening, though. It's just not for me. But I really do appreciate the world and just everybody appreciating the game, and I can appreciate games from afar, I should say. So, yeah, it also has a definitive works edition with the 250-page art book, and they're going all out just like they did with the sequel. So I'm hoping that this game comes out as a success. It's another banger for Nintendo because they've been killing it with the JRPGs. Moving on, they then said that 3 of 2K beloved series is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And so the moment I saw that, I was on the edge of my couch because BioShock Collection got rated and it was heavily rumored a few months back, and so I'm like, 3 of them, so I'm hoping this is finally Borderlands, and it was. It was the BioShock Collection, and there was the Borderlands Legendary Collection, which entails Borderlands 1, 2, and a pre-sequel, so pretty much I do want to say the Handsome Jack Collection with the original attached, and it also is coming with XCOM 2, and all of those games are dropping on May 29th. All of them. Same day. They could have just scattered this release between those months from May to June to August, but they didn't. They just want you to choose everything from right then and there. That's an interesting choice by 2K Games. But they also here's the caveat. When you buy these games physically, you're going to have to download either some of the other games in the collections that's attached to it. And it's just, you're not even getting some of the whole games on just these cartridges. You're going to have to download more. And that kind of sucks. But this is just the state of everything going on with the Switch. When I do believe the 16 gigabyte cartridge is available, and they could have probably at least got one game on one of those cartridges. But to say the least, I'm very, very happy that these games are coming. Now, I don't know if I'm going to play all of them. I don't know if I'm going to finish any of them because, you know me, I'm notorious for not finishing games and buying them and adding to my collection and adding to my backlog. But I digress. XCOM, I played XCOM 2. I played some of XCOM 2. I thought it was a very awesome game, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I don't really like permadeath or things of that nature. I played every last Borderlands, every last one of them. I actually own Borderlands 3, but it's sitting in the plastic, and it has now been added to my backlog. But right now we're talking about Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel. And I've actually played all of those. I actually have Borderlands, the pre-sequel. I think these games are very great. I think Borderlands is a very great game, great time sinker, and it's pretty fun. I love first-person shooters, and I do like RPGs. So why not buy it again on the Nintendo Switch when you're getting basically 3 games plus all of their DLC all wrapped up in one package? And then now we're going back to BioShock, where BioShock is just awesome. Now, I don't really remember as much of BioShock 2, but I remember BioShock 1. And I absolutely love BioShock 1. From the beginning of the start screen, when you're going through the start and the options menus, you hear piano keys. I like little small details like that. And then we got BioShock Infinite, and I remember how great that game was. It was fire, man. It was just something different for me personally at the time. And it was something that I really needed. And I think that this is the time that I can get a chance to finally go and finish it, because I got right to the end. And then I believe something else came out and just caught my interest. And I kind of, the game just kind of got pushed to the back burner. I actually have it still on the Xbox 360. Why are you saying I'll buy it again on the Nintendo Switch? Well, it's obvious. Because it's portable. Moving on, next up was Ultimate Alliance 3's DLC, Shadow of Doom, and it dropped immediately. And I wasn't a big fan of Ultimate Alliance 3. I think it's a pretty good game, but it just didn't hold me. It didn't really pull me in. But I do love what they're doing with the game. Giving free updates, giving costumes, giving DLC. I think that is dope. They're sticking right behind it. And what I also want to say is I do not like Dr. Doom's voice in this DLC. It's not epic enough. Dr. Doom is one of those epic monologuing villains, and I want an epic monologuing voice. And no insult to the voice actor, but it just doesn't seem fitting for that. And so, moving on, we have a game that I do believe was on mobile. It's a post-apocalyptic underwater exploration game, also a Metroidvania side-scroller called Shintech Eye, and it dropped immediately today. So I kind of like these survival, open world exploration games. Journey to the Savage Planet is an extremely fun game. I played 10, 15, maybe 20 hours of that game, and I was laughing pretty much all the way through from the I forgot the name of this animal, but it's running away and it has two heads and it screams. It's kind of annoying but really funny. And then when you do slap it, it splits into. I like games like this because it basically expands on the imagination, and I just really think it's hilarious. In this game, Shintech Eye, excuse me, it actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty fun, and it's about $20, and hopefully maybe it'll get a physical release, because you know I love those physical releases. And it looks pretty fun, and eventually I'll get to it when I don't really feel like I have anything in my particular interest that I want to play at the moment. And yeah, so that dropped immediately. That's available for purchase, and I did see it. It was about $20. Moving on, they then announced an Animal Crossing event that will take place from yesterday, March 26th. Oh, no, excuse me. The update that was released, the moment Animal Crossing dropped, it opened it up. So basically from April 1st to April 12th, Zipper, the bunny, she'll show up in your game, and she'll give you some stuff to do. She'll give you new things to craft and items to find, and you have to pick up some hidden eggs. This is basically an Easter event, and then there will be another event at the end of April. And yeah, Animal Crossing has been taking the world by storm since it released 2 weeks ago, and I think this is what everybody was waiting. I haven't seen a disappointed Animal Crossing fan. I'm not personally a fan, but I haven't seen a disappointed Animal Crossing fan, and I'm just happy for you lads and ladettes. I'm happy that Nintendo came forth. So we didn't see any Metroid Prime trilogy in this Nintendo Direct Mini, but we waiting, Nintendo. We waiting. Let us move on to a small game called Good Job, and it also dropped immediately, where basically you play as a character and it actually kind of reminds me of a job that I actually do. You work in the office, but you got to do things like get the heavy stuff around. And there was a thing where a projector just randomly blew up, so they had to go and find another one. And basically, you see them struggling, trying to drag us ahead like real-time physics. Like, it was real funny. So the guy was trying to drag the projector to another room, but then another guy decided to shoot the projector through the walls and get it to another room. It says, "Get your job done by any means." So I think it would be pretty fun. I'm not sure if it's for me, but if I ever came across it and decided, hey, look, let me try it, I'll give it a try and see what kind of fun I'll have. And like I said, once again, it dropped immediately. Moving on. Just like I thought it would happen, because it was a last-gen game, but it also got re-released for hair and updated. Catherine Full Body is officially coming out July 7th for the Nintendo Switch. They also said in the very beginning of this Nintendo Direct Mini that due to coronavirus, COVID-19, that dates are subject to change. Hopefully none of that ever happens, because this is a pretty decent lineup for some games to come. And they appeared to be lining up games from now to June, when they are going to, when E3 would have been. And they're lining up, the bigger games, for later. So Catherine Full Body is officially coming out on the Nintendo Switch July 7th. Hopefully you fans of Catherine will enjoy it portably. And next, we got an update for the Ring Fit Adventures. It's a music rhythm game now where you got to kind of squeeze the ring, and it looks fun. I gotta say, when Nintendo does these kind of peripherals, these side projects, they're kind of decent. They're kind of fun looking. And I'm not saying I'm gonna get into it, but I'm chunky and I'm a nerd. You put video games and some working out together, I think it's bound to maybe get my interest. We'll see. I gotta move some furniture around in here, but we'll see if I'm interested. It gives you a music rhythm game with 17 tracks from other Nintendo franchises. And then now the Ring Companion also has a female voice. And there were a slew of other updates and stuff like that. You can check the YouTube page for more, but it was available immediately. And then now, this wasn't much of my interest, but it was an RTS. It was a King's Bounty 2. It came out, the original came out some years ago, but they seem to update it, give it some stories, some great character development, and that's also releasing this year. That is, it just says 2020. Now, Super Smash came to you with an update. They said we need a little bit more work on our next character, but we will let you know that it is an ARMS character, and they tried to hint and saying, hey, you know, it was a hint, but not really. They're saying, oh, you know, they got reach and they got length. But that's basically what the game is. And they're letting you know that they will reveal it for you in June, and it will also be released in June. So that's with that. And I got to go rebuy Smash because I, for some reason, traded it in. And they keep supporting it, and I'm loving the characters. When they announced Terry, man, I lost my mind, you know. So my cousin will hopefully be able to hang out with me, and I'll be able to play Super Smash Brothers with him, and let's get it. And I can show him what a Buster Wolf is. Moving on, ARMS has a free video game trial as long as you have a Nintendo Switch Online account, active Nintendo Switch Online account, and it will be from 3/26 to April 6th. And you basically can play the whole game for free from yesterday until April 6th. Not bad, Nintendo. I want people to really play that game because that game was actually slept on. They just said, it's Nintendo. But it was a Nintendo kind of fighting game, not just Smash. And I thought this game was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. It was like fighting, but you had to shoot the arms. It was pretty interesting. I actually did like arms. Moving on. They gave us a breakdown of Bravely Default, and a demo dropped immediately, and the game is still set to release sometime this year. Now, I'm not the guy, I'm not the biggest on JRPGs, at least turn-based JRPGs, and while Bravely Default, it looks like a quality game, and I'm just not interested. I'm not going to pretend to be interested, but I'm hoping some of you guys are. Moving on, and this was just weird to throw in there, but, you know, I wouldn't put anything past Nintendo at this point. There's a collection of tabletop games called Clubhouse Games, 51 games in all, and it comes out June 5th. I'm talking about chess, checkers, backgammon, things of that nature, games from all around the world. This is going to be in there. It's 51 games in all. Hey, they got something for everybody, I guess. So I was actually wondering about this game over the past few months because we would hear about it here and there, but they showed Ninjalah, and turns out it's free to play. It's Battle Royale, and it drops May 27th, and it looks fun. It's free to play. What do I have to lose? I will definitely give it a try. And it's Battle Royale, even though I'm not a fan of Battle Royale, but I'll give this a try because, you know, Nintendo. Why not? Moving on, they gave us Jedi Academy with online multiplayer, and it dropped immediately. How many games did they drop immediately? 4, 5, you know, Nintendo, that's what I'm talking about, and who doesn't love Star Wars? But then they also let us know that Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is also coming. They didn't say a release date or anything. They just let us know that it's coming in. I'll take more Star Wars on the Nintendo Switch. No complaints there. Moving on, they also told us that Panzer Dragoon Remake, which also dropped immediately. Nintendo was dropping bombs, and they let us know immediately, and it's also a timed exclusive first on consoles for the Nintendo Switch, and it'll go to other consoles eventually. But I also want to say Limited Run is dropping a special, and it's in the Sega Saturn case, and it's a collect, and it's about $60. And $60 or something like that, I wouldn't complain, man. I definitely think I may hop on that. But regardless, I know I'm gonna get this game because who doesn't like Panzer Dragoon? But then next, they gave us a sizzle reel of games to come, Minecraft Dungeons, Trials of Mana, but something that really interests me that I didn't know was there and was coming. Now, it wasn't my favorite game in the series, but I'm happy that this game is coming to the Nintendo Switch nonetheless. And that's Burnout Paradise. Yeah, I'm really excited. EA, ever since y'all dropped, matter of fact, I'll give y'all more credit than that. Ever since you guys dropped Apex Legends, you started to get back on the good side of people. Then you put out Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and that game was fire. Would love to see that on the Nintendo Switch. And that game was fire. And now y'all just giving us more Star Wars games on the Switch, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna come to other game consoles, but it also has online, and y'all dropping these old classics. Thank you, EA. I like to give credit where it's due. Thank y'all. And last but not least, they gave us some more information on the Pokemon expansions, but one is called the Crown Tundra, and the other one is called the Isle of Armor. And they went more into depth on the Isle of Armor. Basically, you go to a dojo and you pick, you go train at a dojo, and then you actually get access to a legendary Pokemon called Kung Po. I do believe I do believe I wrote it wrong, but you know, this was a pretty solid direct. I'm not the biggest fan of everything, but I'm just glad they just kind of covered all grounds. First-person shooters to RPGs to tactical RPGs, JRPGs. I really am happy about this, Nintendo. Listen, lads and ladettes, it feels great to be back. It felt great to watch that direct. It felt great to have a direct. What do you think of the direct, though? Let me know down in the comments below. Please follow me on all forms of social media because I am pretty busy on Instagram mainly, but I'm trying to get better on Twitter. Lads and ladettes, it's great to be back. Thank you if you stuck with me through this entire video. I love y'all. This video is finito.